All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to a new week. Welcome to a brand new day. It is 52 degrees. It is just delightful this morning. I know one of these mornings is going to be the last morning of driving in with the windows down, but so nice. Partly cloudy and 77 degrees for the daytime high today. You're in luck for the weather here if you got outdoor projects this week, just like last week. It's going to be beautiful. Tonight, upper 40s, a few clouds. Tomorrow, cloudy in the morning, sunny in the afternoon, and highs around 80 degrees. Wow. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, upper 70s. Thursday looks great, mostly sunny, 81. And then all the way ahead, snapshot to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sunshine and near 70 degrees. What a weekend it was. The Battle in Barrie 17 comes to a close up at the Barrie Auditorium on Saturday night with Donnybrook Fight Promotions, and just an amazing experience up there. Thank you to all of the sponsors, the volunteers, the folks working behind the scenes, the production crew, and mostly the fans for making it such an incredible night on Saturday. Battle in Barrie 18 is December 6th, and Rex is going to be in Friday. We'll be talking a whole heck of a lot about that and recapping this past Saturday night. National Online Learning Day today. Got to say happy birthday to Jed Forbes, my good friend. I'm not sure how old he is. He doesn't even know how old he is. We had this conversation last night. I said, how old he is? He says, I don't know. I'm sure he does. Shane Gladding, Jordan Barnett, Greg Parker on the list today. Another great guy. And Matt White. Also, Bradley Smart. Happy birthday to you. Seahawks and Patriots winners yesterday in the NFL. I didn't get a chance to watch any football yesterday, but I heard that Sunday Night Football was fantastic. Don't forget, as you're trudging through the week, you've got some opportunities to get to the movies. $5 Tuesdays are back at the Capitol Theater, and $5 Wednesdays are at the Paramount Theater. Skip the line. Grab your tickets at fgbtheaters.com. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook for updates, for showtimes, special events, and so much more. One of our presenting sponsors here at the Air It Out Podcast, FGB Theaters. Get to the movies. Is Jody Emerson, and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming in here, Jody.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a while.
It has. It's always fun to be here, though.
I don't know when it was when you were in here last, but it was quite a while ago, and I'm thrilled that you're here. You are the superintendent, the director, the big dog at the Central Vermont Career Center over there.
Yeah. I get to do both jobs.
What do you tell us before we dive into what's going on in November 4th and all of this? What is a typical day like for you, or is that a hysterical question?
That, any school administrator, there is no typical day.
Yeah.
You can try to plan it, and it just doesn't go that way. I think probably I'm a little bit luckier than some of my sending schools as far as that goes, because a lot of times my calendar doesn't shift a whole lot. But the best part about it is Tuesdays are my favorite. I get to greet students at the door, and that's always fun to see students coming in, and they're excited to come see us. And then I like to take some time to walk around and check out what's going on across the center. And at the beginning of the year, there's a lot of safety training that has to happen, OSHA 10, Serve Safe Managerial, all of those sort of things.
Wow.
So it's a little less exciting. Soon they'll get into those projects that are really a lot of fun, and you can see why students came and what they're passionate about.
Sure. I was just chatting with you off the air, and I was saying that when I was in high school, how blessed I would have been to have had an opportunity to learn some of these real work skills, these real life skills, in addition to the core curriculum, which of course is important. But man, to just be able to have the options, whether it's become a paramedic, an EMT, a firefighter, a mechanic, a carpenter. The list goes on and on. That would have been just incredible. And there's some, and you know this, I mean, so many know this. There's just some kids out there, some students, that's this standard path through, to and through education is just not something that they necessarily thrive on.
Yeah, I think I'm sort of disappointed with the idea of transforming education in Vermont and not talking about that more. I think there's more than just governance and finance that goes with transforming education and making it engaging and meaningful for all kids.
Well said.
Yeah. And I think about when I was in high school, I grew up in Vermont and I went to Oxbow High School. And so Riverbend was right there, the tech center. And my brother went to that, and there was no expectation from my family that I would, although I certainly could have. I definitely ate the cookies from the culinary department because they were yummy. And I took part in the typing class that was offered. So there were some, shorter classes, and then there was the longer CTE programming. And thank goodness I did that because that allowed me to help, pay for college a little bit by typing other people's papers. I don't know if that even happens anymore.
Doesn't.
But, and it gave me the skills to be able to take notes and keep up. And I think about some of the other things that I might have been able to learn there that I didn't. My brother did take advantage of it, and he did their heavy equipment program. I think he was one of the first in that program, got his CDL, and the rest is history, right?
Yeah.
He's been all sorts of great jobs. My son went to Randolph Tech, thank goodness, because traditional high school wasn't the thing for him. And that he did the diesel program down there, which was amazing and just a game changer for him. And that story is true for so many students, so many. It doesn't matter what tech center they go to.
Yep.
The opportunity to do the work that's related to something they're interested in. And it's not the vocational school of the past when you and I were in school or before that. It's so different. Every program is required to have at least 2 industry recognized credentials or to have 2 college courses associated with it, or both an industry recognized credential and a college course. So there's so much that students are getting out of career and technical education today, and they can go to college. There's some people who still are like, oh, you either have to go to the trade school or you go to college. That's not true anymore. You can do whichever one suits your pathway if there's room and if you get accepted.
There's so many of us that are young, either kids or young adults, who are just wired in a way, and I'm one of them. Show me, don't tell me. We had game night last night at a friend's house, and the rules of the game were being explained to me for like a half an hour. And I'm like, no, let's just get going with the game here. I want to show me what's happening. I want to see with my hands. And then, of course, it was great after that. But there's a lot of kids that are like that. They're like, got to get my hands on it. I have to be doing.
Yeah, and if I get my hands on it and then I also realize I have to learn this code or I have to learn how to do this and see the instructions for it too,
right,
I can put them together because now that reading is valuable.
Right. I'm on your webpage right now. Before I even go an inch further, I got to tell you, my first time walking through the doors over at the Central Vermont Career Center, I was so absolutely blown away. But I was also a little, and this was a while ago. I was also a little, almost kind of like surprised with myself that, like, where I'm saying, the voice in my head, why haven't you been in here a long time ago? What? You didn't even know that this existed. I mean, you've driven by Spalding High School a million times, but the Career Center is almost kind of a separate building. They're attached, but
we have a wing. We're around the back side of the building, so we don't smack you in the face as we're here, you know. But we have a wing of the high school that we use, and we've tried to take a little more space over time, and occasionally we get it.
Yeah. Just walking through those halls and seeing the different departments is unbelievable. And just walking down the hall and just looking through the glass and seeing these kids actually doing, like really in the midst of a project, a real project. Look at what Habitat for Humanity, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's been a wonderful experience to be able to walk to the Hill Street, 22 Hill Street, and see students from building trades there and electrical up there helping out. I mean, all the electrical wiring was pulled by the electrical students last year, and all of the framing for it was actually done at the Career Center and then moved up there. And then the kids went up and put the drywall up, and we're continuing to help out throughout the year. It's just phenomenal, and I know that they really appreciate the experience. It's a whole other thing when you can see that you're giving back to your community as well. Like, you're learning what you want to learn, you're learning how to make stairs and how to frame up a building, but then you're also knowing that it's giving back to someone who's going to use that.
I wish I could chat with all of these kids and have an opportunity to just remind them how lucky they are to be able to have this. I mean, here I am, 54 years old. I can't frame up anything. I mean, ask my friends. They'll tell you, fixing a car, maybe an oil change, possibly, if I'm lucky, changing over a couple of a flat tire. But that's it. That's it. That's just, it's not my bag. Plumbing, electrical, forget it.
Yeah, same.
Forget it.
Same. I can change a tire and I can change the oil because my dad wouldn't let me leave the house with a car without knowing how to do those things.
That's a good dad.
Yep. He was a mechanic and then had an excavation business. So, yeah, he trained me right there. But
watching this girl carefully. That's good.
As far as the electrical, the plumbing, I definitely couldn't do that on my own. And it's fun to go in there and learn from the kids because they can, after a while, they're telling you what they did, and you ask them why, and they can tell you why, and they can back it up. It's great.
Yeah. I'm on your site right now. The board goal of the Central Vermont Career Center, the ability to serve all eligible students in our region and to provide programming that fulfills the needs of students, employers, and the community. Key points for the Central Vermont Career Center. Your present facilities are preventing us from doing so. Those are the words from your site. How so? Because the word's out, the secret's out, the popularity is there, that this thing is growing. We need space. Definitely.
I think since everything we do nowadays is kind of since COVID, right? So since COVID, the numbers of students interested in attending the CVCC has grown. And just this past year, looking to get in this year, we had 423 individual applicants. We had more applications than that, but that's because...
You said this past year?
Yeah, for this year. Yep. So we had more applications because some students didn't get in the first round. They tried again, second round. But 423 individual, different, separate people applied to get in for about 240 seats. We started the year with 216. And that's because in some of the areas, students that got accepted for whatever reason chose not to. They might have gone to early college. They might have decided not to leave their sending school for the amount of time that they are with us. Sometimes that's because of graduation requirements. Sometimes they don't want to leave their friends. So there's a couple of programs where we did still have a little bit of room, but the majority of our programs are full. They have a wait list. And we sent actually some of our kids down to Randolph this year. So we have probably between 30 and 40 U32 Montpelier Spalding kids that are headed down to Randolph instead of in our center because we didn't have enough space. And thankfully they had some openings for them. So they took some of that overflow for us. And we can't expand into the spaces that we would need at the high school. It was quite a battle a couple of years ago just to get that new welding lab. That program was full last year. It's full again this year. Very exciting. Everything in that lab can move with us if we move. So we made sure to really plan for that. And renovating that space, which was originally a tech ed classroom and then moved to the maintenance shop for Barre Unified Union School District, and then now it's our welding shop, $500,000 to renovate that space to make sure that we could get kids into welding. And there is a huge need. I think we have 3, maybe 4 students from that program last year working at DMS now.
$500K.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
this, I'm just having a glance at your website here. You also need to make sure that you've got enough staff to be driving the bus.
Yeah. We're fully staffed right now.
Okay.
It's very exciting.
We just need more space. I mean, this is good news that you're needing to expand. You're needing to grow. This is an indication of a shift in our culture, that more and more kids are wanting to get into the trades.
Well, it's, I think, a recognition that there's, like you said, a shift in the culture that, a college degree used to mean something. And in some cases, you can get that college degree and you can't find a job. Whereas you might be able to get the skills that you need to be in a trade from high school. And you might have to go and take a few more courses or get a few more certificates for that. But you can also go straight into that trade and start working. And you don't have these huge bills that you're wondering, how am I going to pay them back?
Bingo.
And then we know that there's a deficit, that the variety of plumbers, electricians, that they're getting older and they're retiring or retired. And we have job openings. So the prices are going sky high because we don't have enough people to do those jobs right now. So the more people we can put into them, a little bit more comfort we can have in paying for that stuff, and knowing that we can get somebody to come in and it's going to be tomorrow instead of 2 weeks from now.
Sure. Boy, all of those are such great key points. And it doesn't matter if it's the building trades, if it's the automotive trades. Everyone's looking. Everyone's looking to hire.
Yeah.
I mean, Giroux General Transport is one of our presenting sponsors. They're always saying, hey, we got another CDL course coming up. Get on board. Ride this wave right now. I mean, everyone is looking to hire truck drivers right now. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Right here, within a mile or two of where I'm sitting right now, let alone the rest of the country, if you want to move.
Absolutely. I think we just need to help kids find where are they interested, where are they going to enjoy working, what are they going to want to do with their life, and to explore all of those things and then give them the skills that they need to move forward in that and be successful.
What's happening November 4th?
November 4th is a traditional election day, and we have a bond vote going out for a new building.
Okay.
So I see it as our once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to invest in the future of Central Vermont and our kids, and to improve access to career and technical education right here, and to also build that tax base and build the businesses around here stronger and keep them going. It's really an investment in our community.
When you say the word vote, it's or November 4th, it's a hot button for our community. And when we hear those words, those buzzwords, our minds just jump into different gears. Either pro or con. But just stop and just educate yourself. Be aware of the positive things that really could potentially be for us. I'm going to show you some pictures here in a second that you're just not going to believe. So pay attention to your monitor. You got to see this. But man, the tide is high right now. If your vote is really critical. I know the word bond is a hot button. I know the word vote is a hot button, and then you combine the two, and everybody is sensitive about this. But this is your opportunity. What is this going to cost taxpayers? Because I know that folks, when they hear bond vote, are like, "Well, what's this going to cost me? What's going to happen to my taxes? What's the bottom line here?"
Yeah, so it's a $149 million project, and we've tried to figure out, because people are asking that question, right? I don't think there's anyone who's against career and technical education. 100% support of that. It's whether or not I feel like I can afford this now in my taxes. And there's, taxes have gone up for everybody. And so it's do I say no because I don't feel like I can afford my taxes, or do I say yes because I believe in it and we'll figure it out?
Sure.
What we did to try to figure out the cost in that chart that you're showing right there is to look at current, because there's so much up in the air, and unfortunately I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if you do, JD.
I did once. It's got a chip in it.
Yeah, so we had to use what we currently do for our spending and budgeting. So we took and imagined that 30-year bond that we were paying back in generally equal amount over the 30 years. And we pretended that we were paying it back this year. Now, if it gets passed, we're not paying it back this year. It doesn't start until we open the doors of that new building, right? And there could be different iterations of it. And we also might find extra funding somewhere. You never know. But what we did was we took that and imagined that we had to pay back one of the 30-year payments in FY26. How much would that alone add on? And our budgeting is done on a 6-semester average of students. So even when we increase that new welding program where we've had full, we only have 3 semesters. So we can only count those kids for half the time they've been with us. For the other half, we don't get to count them. So a 6-semester average based on the number of students coming from each sending school over those 6 semesters, we allocated it out to our sending districts, and then divided it among the towns in the sending districts, which is super complicated to think about.
Yeah.
And so it ranged from a $99 addition to taxes in Cabot to a $420 addition in, I think, Montpelier or East Montpelier. And so there's that range. It's an average of $294 more in taxes each year if we look at this current year. And so it's not real. We can't really talk about real numbers and what the real impact is, but it's giving people a sense of what it might be.
I hope the governor is aware of this, assuming that he is, and paying attention to this, assuming that he is, because getting kids through this program, and they're going to have jobs waiting for them before they've even graduated.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah. And most of them stay right here. They stay in the state.
That's my point. That's my point right there. This is the lifeblood of Vermont. This is what's going to make this state sustainable, affordable. This is going to have a direct impact on housing, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely. I got a question over the weekend of why didn't you wait for the school construction to be financed again? And great question, but will it? Can we wait? And if there's a transition, right now, all 18 towns of our district get to vote on this. We don't know if in this transformation we might be put in with a regional district. We don't know if we're going to be put into a statewide CTE district. We don't know what's going to happen with redistricting. Mm-hmm. Now is the time for the people in our communities to tell us if this is the right move or not. We can't wait for school construction funding that may or may not happen.
This new building would be on 27 acres in Graniteville.
In Graniteville.
I'm going to show a map here, but tell us where. I mean, there's some great points here, some real positives, but tell us where.
It's on 16 Baptist Street in Graniteville, Vermont, and it's not too far from a lot of Berry history in the granite quarries. And some of the things that are important about the maps and why, as you zoom in closer to the building, you can see that there are other big buildings nearby. So it's not like the biggest thing that's going in there.
Okay. So this is if you're passing Rock of Ages.
Yeah.
And you continue like you're going up to Graniteville. At the playground, don't hang the left.
Right, go straight.
Go straight, like you're going towards Williamstown.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of quarries that are off to the left there, but this is to the right.
This is to the right, correct. It's sort of on the ridge of the land, and so when you're on this property, which is quite beautiful actually, you can see off to the quarry, lagstones, and then you can also see off to the mountains on the other side. So it's kind of on a ridge there. It has a nice buffer of trees, which we would be adding to.
Now, aren't there some homes in there?
There's a home on the property, and then there's 3 access roads actually to the property, which is one of the benefits of it. It's also on, power. There's town sewer. We're learning more about the Graniteville Water District and hoping to get some responses back to some questions we have out to them. But it has all of the things we need, the 3-phase power that we need. But yes, there's going to be some houses that are also right next to the ingress and egress roads of that building.
What would happen to those homes? Are these folks?
They would be able to stay there. These roads exist already.
Yeah. And what about there's a log home, I think, that's right there.
The log home is on the property, and it's actually right where we're going to land our new building. So that will have to go.
What are they saying? The homeowners.
They are excited. They bought this property from Rock of Ages back in the early 90s, I think, and built this northeastern log home on it. It's beautiful. So hopefully we can find a way to repurpose that, or someone can.
But they're enthusiastic about
this. They are
this.
enthusiastic about this. They support the Career Center and what we want to do, and decided that as much as they love their space and their home, that it might be time to downsize.
Wow. Let's go to the next frame here. That's the we're talking about the location plan.
Yeah, I think basically this is kind of zooming down in to kind of show you where is the location of this, and the building is that sort of longer piece that's a little bit to the left there, but you can still see, I think, some of the granite quarries and Rock of Ages on this map, and you can see, that's the location of the new building.
Wow.
So it keeps zooming in to show you that on that property, and we're using kind of the more Berrytown side of the property than the Williamstown side.
Wow. Wait till go right ahead. I can't wait to show folks.
So this building, this is a shift from the way you were looking at it before. So the north is to the right of the screen, and south is to the left of the screen, because it shifted the angle of this building. So you can see where you come in those parking areas. There's a little bit of wetlands to the left and right in the entryway. So we've made a little stormwater pond that will help support that. Agency of Natural Resources has already given their approval around that. We are still waiting for the Army Corps of Engineers to see if they have any feedback on this design. But basically what you're going to see and what we're going to walk through is the concept design for the new building.
All right, here we go. Yep.
So again, that's where the parking lot, we had shifted it. If you saw earlier designs about a year ago, the ingress and egress are still the same routes, but we shifted where the parking lot was for students and visitors.
All right. Look at this.
One of the really cool things about this is that you're going to walk in. The main entrance allows access to our cosmetology studio and to baking and culinary arts. So those are the spaces where customers might be coming in, right?
Brilliant.
And also on the end of the building, you'll see when we get to the outside designs and the 3D modeling, you'll see that there's a playground. We hope to bring back the Human Resources program and make sure that we're supporting childcare as well. That's been out of the center since before I got there, and we're hoping to definitely bring it back, because there's certainly a need for childcare, and there will be as more of our students grow their families here.
Sure. I'm so wowed by this. This is the more on the entry-level floor plan here.
Yeah, so the property slopes a bit, and like I said, it's on a ridge. So the front of the building that you would see when you drive in has the lower level, which would have the baking and culinary, cosmetology, but also has all our health sciences, human services, and we're also hoping to add an animal science program. And then you'll walk in past those, you see this huge atrium-like and learning stair, which is also going to be the space where presentations can happen, where auditoriums can happen, and where students would eat their lunch. It's our cafeteria as well. So it's a multi-purpose space. And then as you go up the stairs in that center, if you go straight back, you'll find all the heavy trades. So the electrical, the plumbing, the welding, the building trades, the automotive, potentially adding diesel, adding advanced manufacturing, because there's certainly a need here. We're in a comprehensive local needs assessment this year, so that will help us to really identify what programming needs to be brought in that we're not meeting the needs of yet.
Wow.
But we have some placeholders there for a few new programs, and then hoping to duplicate those programs, plumbing, building trades, electrical, automotive that have so many applicants we could have more than one program. Because you may or may not know that we're limited by the state on how many we can have in with an instructor. So in most of those where there's safety issues, it's 16 students, which limits our capacity. If we add an adult, we can get 21. We could split and have 2 programs and have that many more students. And if we were able to have students for the full day and meet their other proficiencies, their academic proficiencies in another way, then we can use our spaces a little more flexibly. The other pieces on that top floor of the building are exploratory spaces. Right now we have a 10th grade exploratory program where students explore every single program that we have, and then they're well equipped to know where they want to go in the future and to apply for those. We're hoping to move that back down to the 9th grade level and then move into career pathway clusters of exploratory for health sciences, for example, and exploratory for construction trades. So they can knock off some of those early tier 1 credentials and a few credits in that 10th grade year and then really dive in deep as juniors. And then seniors, they can continue diving and learning more, or they can go on out to co-op and start working, or continue on to early college if that's their choice.
Sometimes we what do you want to be when you grow up? We don't know, and some things we're like, oh, absolutely not. Once we learn about it and maybe get our hands wet with it, we're like, oh, this is incredible.
Yeah.
We're surprised.
Yeah. Sometimes we really think we know where we're going, and then we find another way.
God, I wish I had that. When I was seriously middle school, especially 7th, 8th grade.
That's when students are really starting to think about that a lot. And
what do you like?
Yeah.
What do you like?
Yeah. And that's why some of the new legislation is around how do we bring this exploration down to 7th and 8th graders.
Yeah.
It's not something we can do yet, but it's something that we can open some more doors to.
My goodness. This is some of the ideas here on what we're looking at, what it might look like for the exterior level here, and then we're gonna take you indoors here in a second. You're just not gonna believe it. This looks like a full college campus.
Well, it is a campus for sure. Truex Cullens and LaValle Brensinger are both working with us. Truex Cullens has a lot of school design experience, and LaValle Brensinger has done a lot of career and technical education, high schools and colleges throughout New England. And so we have combined their experiences in this concept design, and this is the 3D. So this is the entry if you're driving in. So you're coming to see our new campus. You're driving right in. And you're driving up to the end of the building. And what we know about Graniteville is that there's a 35-foot, I think it's foot, limit to how high the building can be. So that's part of the reason we're working with the lay of the land as well. So you can see this front of the building. You can see there's a playground there. That's for that human services program. And there's also lots of windows. We're looking at getting as much natural light into the space as possible. If you've been in our building now, there's not a lot of natural light. And that's something that everyone has said that we would benefit from more of. We've looked at a couple of new builds, one out in Colorado, Cherry Creek Innovation Center, and gotten some design ideas from them and from some of the others that we visited several CTEs in Maine that LaValle Brensinger had worked on and grabbed some ideas from those as well. So it's really cool to put those together. All
right. Again, this is the exterior.
Yep. And so you're looking now towards the main entrance to the building.
Beautiful. Look at that.
You would actually know it was our building too. You should see that.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Look at all that granite on the front. That's beautiful.
Yeah, we're definitely wanting to have a heavy base that's related to the industry around us, and so making sure there's a granite base there, and then building up with something lighter from there.
We're chatting with Jody Emerson, the director and superintendent of the Central Vermont Career Center this morning. This is the bond vote that's coming up November 4th for what your eyes are seeing right now, this proposed new Central Vermont Career Center. Another exterior shot here.
Yeah, that if you drive around the building, which there would be a space all the way around to drive, not everyone would have access to this because we would have students working outside in some of these spaces. And so you can see where the trucks will deliver to, the loading dock, but you can also see the outside building space for the building trades, electrical and plumbing and heating, so that they could I think many of you may remember when we used to build double wides in our shop.
Yep.
We could then be doing that work again, or if the governor sends us another mobile home to renovate, we can do it right outside there and then send it on its way. So we're excited about that.
I'm assuming that our governor has had a chance to have a peek at this.
I would hope so. You know, we've talked to him. We've sent him some things. When he's been on campus, we've certainly talked about it. You're going inside now, so you've just walked through those main entry doors, and you can see the cosmetology sign, I think, on the side there.
I love this.
Yeah, so the salon will be right there, and then the culinary arts dining space, which we haven't had for a long time. When they moved baking arts back on campus before I got to the Career Center, we lost our dining space for culinary arts. So we're excited to bring that back and think about how it could be used as a community space.
Wow.
And then you go into this atrium, and I think we're on the top floor looking down at those, or looking over at the learning stairs in this piece. And there is, to your left, there's the business and IT that we hope to add, but also our digital media arts, graphic design, and videography are up there. And they would have the ability to run anything that's in that centralized learning space, where there's a big screen at the bottom so that things can be projected. We can't use a projector because of the natural light coming in from the skylight, but we'll have a big screen that they can use. They can use the lighting differently, and they can set up the sound system from that digital media arts classroom.
This is phenomenal. Look at that.
So that's turning around in that same space and looking down those stairs towards that big presentation screen. You can see there's an elevator next to the presentation screen to the right. To the left is the hallway that would also take you out to the gym, because if we are going to have full day, we do need a space to do some of those other academic areas that we don't currently meet in our center.
This would be such an injection of positivity into Central Vermont. I mean, I just can't even imagine not only the careers that are going to be born here, but also the job opportunities. That in itself alone, unreal.
Well, and this space is not, CTE is not just for high school students. We have adult programming as well. And so this gives us the opportunity to add more to that.
Right. Look at this. Amazing.
One of the really cool things about the way that we've set it up is we've set it up in kind of career pathway clusters. And in the middle of the hallways between these classrooms and lab spaces, we have these areas for collaboration. We're called collaboration zones. So students across programs can meet together and work on real world authentic problems together and work on solving them together. And so we're really excited about just the amount of collaboration that can happen between different programs as well.
167,000 square feet.
Correct.
And 149 mil. That price tag was, fair to say, lower than what you had guessed.
Yeah, if you had gone to some of our forums that we did before we got this estimated cost from our project group, we were saying anywhere between 150 million and 200 million, because we didn't know, and we were a little nervous that it was going to come out at the top end, and would the board still keep moving it forward if that was the case. And when it came out at 149 million, I think everyone breathed a little bit of a sigh of relief. Yes, it's a lot of money, but it wasn't as much as we thought it was going to cost.
Sure.
And the opportunities that this gives our community is just amazing.
Massive. Bond tax estimator notes here.
Yeah, so I talked about that a little bit before. How did we make that estimation? And so we're taking, again, our 6 semester average of students from each sending school and then divvying it out between the towns in those sending schools to try to figure out what is that one year of the 30 years bond of payment, what is it going to cost taxpayers, just to give someone a sense.
Yeah.
And we use the $300,000 home as the base value to say that. So if your home is less, then it's less. If your home is more, it's more, right? My business manager, Michelle Lehman, worked closely with a guy who's on the Montpelier board, but also at the tax department. His name is Jake. I don't remember his last name. I should make sure I commit that to memory. But he worked with us and was like giving us this is the best way to do this. This is the most accurate way we can if we had to pay it back this year. And we can't guess. Like I said before, don't have that crystal ball, don't know what's going to change with our legislature in education moving forward, or how any of that's going to impact taxes.
Yeah.
So,
and what's going to happen with tariffs, which
right.
that news is changing by the hour.
Right.
So, yeah, there's a lot of variables here. This is a fluid thing, but
looks like that screen didn't work. So
yeah.
So these are just some of the assumptions that we put in, and we did not do any planning for those folks that are, income sensitivity. We didn't look into that at all. This is just a flat, you own a $300,000 home, and this is what the additional tax amount would be based on your CLA. I think there was one town that didn't have that information back yet because they'd just gotten assessed. So there's still that piece as well.
I'm seeing here enrollment trends, and we've talked about that. I mean, the demand is really there. It's high.
It's high, and if we double the number of students, it'll take a few years, but then the impacts across the region would be different as well.
Yeah.
Right. So if we have 220 students last year and 216 this year, and then we double that to 440, that's a huge difference in how we assess those tuitions, right? But it also, we can't leave out that also impacts our sending schools.
Yeah.
And it also means that we're going to need some more teachers to do some of those academic skills. And some of our sending schools will not need as many teachers. And so hopefully there's a way that we can shift those and they kind of even out in the end. Like we'll take some of the teachers that maybe get cut from other districts.
The residual on this is massive, and I think it will be for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So the bond vote warning went out September 8th that the bond vote will be...
The board approved it. We haven't put it in the paper yet because there's a very strict system for that. So on September 25th is the earliest we can put that out.
Okay.
But you will see it, and you'll see the full warning for that. It was a unanimous from my board. All 10 members were there and approved this warning, which I think also says something. And that I want to say a little bit about the makeup of our board. We have 6 members who are appointed from the sending districts. So that means they were elected to our sending school district board, and they also are on our board because they've been appointed to it. And then we have 4 at-large for our 4 largest districts. So we have a Montpelier rep, a Harwood rep, a Barry rep, and a Washington Central rep that are voted in or appointed if no one ran for that position. So we have 10 seats, and those larger districts have 2 voices.
So this, if in a perfect world, this thing, we could be rolling the ball here in 2027.
Mm-hmm. And opening our doors in the fall of 29.
Wow, that is unreal. There's no fooling around here. I'm just glancing. Building construction, March of 2027 to May 2029. And then opening up the building in September of 2029.
We can't wait. Kids want to get in now.
Wow. This is so exciting. What's next?
We have lawn signs. Next is really just trying to make sure that people know what's going on. There's still, I have a whole timeline of this project actually began. Its conception began in 2018 when the Spalding board asked CVCC to leave. It took me a while to find that information. I was told that a couple of times, but it's true. And there was a lot of work done before I arrived at the center in 2021. And when I arrived, it was there was both this governance shift, because remember, we were part of the Barry Unified Union School District.
Yeah.
And there was this re-envisioning. And I felt like the governance needed to be first so that all 18 towns had a voice in this re-envisioning of CVCC and building a new center. And so that's what we did. So it kind of paused this project for a little bit. We picked it back up, I think in 23, And we've been kind of carrying it forward into this concept design, and we did the site selection, learned a lot, and traveled through a lot of different properties, lots of woods and fields, and
Sure.
and called a lot of people, and just cold called them and said, hey, I'm looking for property for the new Central Vermont Career Center. Would you be interested in talking to us about selling your land? And heard a lot of no's, and went from the A list to the B list and on down the line, and we found this space that is going to be beautiful and is not really a whole lot further from any of our sending schools than our students have to travel right now.
Tell me about this community forum that's coming up.
So we had several community forums around our different sending schools in the spring to try to bring awareness to this project. This one on October 7th is very similar to when we have a budget vote in the spring, and we always do a forum in front of that budget vote. This is a forum for the bond vote, so that we are sharing this information, again, that you've shared on the screen today, but also fielding any questions that people have if we can, and just letting people know it's one more opportunity to talk about why we're moving this forward and why we're asking people to get out there and vote.
And, just the EMS program alone, Joe Aldsworth's been in touch with me, district chair of the Vermont EMS District 6. What a super guy.
Yeah.
Someone who is so passionate about this.
Absolutely. And we're so excited. There's a big announcement coming up. We're working with them, District 8. And if you knew in the past, we had a EMS 2 program for a while with students getting their paramedic or a really good start on their paramedic license through VTSU. And we have a new partnership with UVM Medical Center moving forward. And so we're going to be...
Josh LeDuc.
Yeah. So we're going to be signing off on that the 24th at 2 p.m. So hope to see you there. And we'll be releasing that information this coming Wednesday in a press release.
All right. I would love to be there.
Great.
This is such a big deal and something that is so needed. Really.
Absolutely. I can tell you without doubt that every student that's gone through our emergency services program and gotten their EMT and then started down that path of paramedic, I would not be scared if I woke up and they were the person assisting me. I would be so grateful.
Just life skills that go with that. And Joe and I have talked about this before. Just the basic life skills of being calm and level-headed and grace under pressure are remarkable. I was not like that. I couldn't do it. Still can't. But, I mean, these kids,
they're amazing.
They're amazing, and they're the level of maturity is remarkable. I was nothing like that when I was 15, 16, 17, 18. I could keep going. Just not like that. Wasn't geared like that. I mean, these kids are taking their lives so seriously.
Everyone has so much potential, right? We all do. And our students especially, they have so much ahead of them, we hope. And when they find their passion, they are just phenomenal. It's so great to see them light up.
And they just latch on. But having these resources right there available to them, a new building, a staff that embodies and shares their passion and wants to teach, wants our future to learn. These are all key things, man. These are the most important ingredients. You've got to have it. It is essential.
Yeah, and it's so exciting to see. I mean, across our programs, our instructors are industry professionals.
Yeah.
They come from industry. They don't come from the college teaching background, the majority of them. I mean, a few do, obviously, but not everybody. And the most of them, they're coming in, and a lot of them are still working in the field. They're still cutting hair on the side if they're in cosmetology, or our EMS instructor, Carl Madison, he is still every weekend out there anytime. Like, I don't know when that man sleeps, because he is either teaching our students or he's out there saving lives and being a part of the crews. I think about Brandon Morris, our electrical teacher, who is a student graduate of CVCC, and he's got his own business on the side that he's doing, like nights, weekends, and summers. Like, they're all still in these trades, and they're still doing the work, and they're bringing everything that they learn every day and everything that shifts in that back to the classroom to their students.
Yeah. Real, true, hands-on. I hope these kids realize how blessed they are to be able to have these opportunities that so many of us just didn't in the 70s and 80s. And this is the new world, man. And technology is at the forefront. We've got to learn these skills. This is our future right here. And it's not just here in America, but it's right here in Vermont, right here in central Vermont. And this is a pivotal moment. This is an opportunity that I hope Vermonters embrace and take advantage of.
Our kids definitely know. I remind them on that welcome assembly day that, they could look to either side and know that this class could be double. The group of students could be double in
Yes.
that auditorium, that many students aren't there that wanted to be there, that they have that seat
Sure.
when somebody else really wanted it. And they take that seriously. They know that it means a lot for them to be at our center, and they run with it.
Yeah. You had such a great point earlier about just the cost of going to college. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But if you have these skills and you still want to go to college, because
Yeah.
you don't have to close
Of course
that
you can.
door,
Of course you can.
you can work and pay for it
Sure.
and not have that huge burden of debt.
Yeah.
Or you can get those scholarships.
I can't wait to get some members of your AV department in here and get them on the air. I can't wait to have Carlos on the air. I mean, that guy is unbelievable.
He's going to be doing some of our promotional videos as well, and it's really exciting. We've gotten a couple of interviews started, but we really want people to tell their story, because our students, they have amazing stories.
Yes, they do.
And our alumni have amazing stories, and we're excited for any alumni who are willing to be interviewed on camera. We're going to use those in social media posts and hopefully on some TV stations too, and just share what people get out of it. It's phenomenal, and to have that resource on campus.
Yeah.
And to have some of our former students who can come back and help us with that.
Yes.
A couple of our alumni from the videography program have been supporting us with some of the different pieces that class does. And it's so great. They're going to come in and help us out with that, and also be interviewed in that. Wow. It's such a great... I love that we're doing this, even if regardless of what happens in November, we will have a treasure trove of stories that talk about how much this meant for students.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. Listen, get back in here soon.
Okay.
Please. I really enjoy chatting with you, and there's so much positivity here. This is a great way to start out the day and the week. And I appreciate you and your time so much, Jody.
I'm so grateful that you invited me in, and I will come back whenever you want.
Where do people go if they want to learn more? What's the point here?
So our website, cvtcc.org, there's a /future. Will take you right to our new design and all the information about that. It includes a frequently asked questions page that we're adding to all the time, because I'm getting questions all the time.
I'm sure you are.
There's also attached to that a long list of links that are kind of like a timeline of how long has this project been going on, and what have we done, and who's been involved in it. So there's that connected to it. We have lawn signs. So if you would like some, reach out to me. I can get some to you. We just need to keep track of where they go so that we can collect them back. We're going to have some brochures, and next week our postcard is going out with more information to all the residents across our 18 towns. So be on the lookout for that. It should have a QR code that'll also take you to our website.
Awesome. Grab me one of those lawn signs for the window here.
Will do.
Would you?
Yeah.
Thanks, Jody. Appreciate you. Come in again soon.
Thank you, JD.